Hello again. I did some more mining off camera. A lot of mining off camera, actually. I got this mob spawner going on right now just to get some levels. Enough to enchant this beautiful pickaxe with Fortune 3 on it. I found this cave, pretty big cave. It goes deeper and I put torches everywhere and found a bunch of diamonds. But I didn't have Fortune 3 at the time, so now I'm gonna go mining. But in the meantime, I want to tell you about the story of how I found out two of my high school classmates, or well, really friends of mine, ex-friends of mine, became pedophiles. And also, I'm gonna silk touch all the diamonds, so stick around to the end to see how many diamonds we actually end up getting. One random day last year, I had Shake Shack for the first time. It was a little overpriced, but the burgers and fries were really good. However, that's not the reason why I remember this day so vividly. Me and a buddy of mine were bored one day and decided to go get something to eat. But in reality, we were just making excuses to see this one friend. Let's call him Gio. We hadn't seen Gio in like 2 years. The last time we saw him was in high school. We still kept in touch. We would, get on calls, play some games, but we just hadn't seen each other in person. So we decided to go to Shake Shack since two of us have never tried it. Gio didn't have a car at the time, so he asked me to give him a ride. My other friend said he was going to take his own car over there. It was this conversation in the car ride that I had with Gio that allows me to remember this day so vividly. It started off with the whole usual "how you been" type of deal. I mean, it had been 2 years since we'd seen each other. We caught up on life, and once we got past that phase, we somehow got onto the topic of people we used to know in high school. And for a little context, there were many friend groups in high school. And some of these people, some of these groups have been friends for like years, maybe even decades. Not decades, a decade. All the way since elementary. Many people who went to my high school, I went with them to middle school and also elementary. And also, well, just elementary. As the years went on, the bonds grew stronger, and what was once 2 friends became 3, and then 4. And I'm not saying 2 friends reproduced. I'm saying that these friend circles seen in high school were created as time went on. But at the core of it, it all originated from 2 friends. And one of these friend groups was one I started with a friend I met in 6th grade. I considered him my first friend ever because I went up to him, raised my hand to give him a handshake, introduced myself, and asked him if he wanted to be friends. Just imagine a not-so-genius young Sheldon asking somebody to be friends. That's what I look like. I remember telling myself that he was my best friend and nothing would ever separate us. We don't talk anymore, but the time we had together will never be forgotten. He's not really important to this story other than these 2 friends he brought into our friend group. Let's call them Cookie and Tony. Actually, I think I remember being friends with Tony first. Back in 6th grade, we would get on calls and play Minecraft all day on our phones. Oh, actually, we played this very niche game called Rules to Survival, or Rules of Survival. I think it was Rules of Survival. It was like a PUBG, mobile PUBG game type of thing, Battle Royale. And we had so much fun doing so. But we never really became true best friends. And we stopped talking, but he eventually came back to our friend group. Cookie, I didn't really know where he came from. I just remember him showing up first day of 7th grade and seeing how little he was. I'm not sure if he gave himself the name Cookie or if that was a name given to him for maybe his stature, but I guess that's neither here nor there. Cookie was funny, man. I remember all the jokes he would make. He was a smooth 4'8", and he cooked everyone he didn't like. I mean, you didn't want to get on his bad side. But again, it was very comical. It was like a chihuahua barking all the time, except the barking actually, made sense. I don't actually... As the years went on, I found myself drifting more and more from this friend group. I didn't really keep up with them, especially when the pandemic hit. We stopped talking, and I think they just didn't play the games I was playing, so we had no real point in talking. And if we did... well, we just didn't. When we went back to school, it was now junior year of high school. I didn't immediately run looking for them. Instead, I let whatever happened happen. If they wanted to come back after not talking for a while, then that would be cool. If not, I had made other friends. Actually, I remember my so-called best friend, one of the founders of this friend circle, was homeschooled this year. I think he was failing, so he kind of had to or something. But I guess as I drifted away from these friends, I realized that I was just mutuals with these people and nothing more. We had no personal connection anymore. So I guess I didn't even bother trying to connect with them. But they kept that friend group going. And one person who joined senior year of high school was Gio. Now, Gio was friends with me already since the start of the pandemic, so I was in a way surprised when I found out that he was in their circle. He was telling me like, "Oh, you know this person, you know that person." I'm like, "Yeah, I used to be really close to them." And well, this is how I found out that Cookie was mad at me, and that really surprised me even more. How is someone that I used to call a close friend mad at me? I mean, I did nothing, right? Is it the fact that we didn't really talk during the pandemic? I mean, I felt like that animosity was pretty mutual. You didn't reach out, so neither did I. Then what did I do? Apparently, he said that I told him we were beefing. And I had some recollection of this, but it was the beginning of senior year, and my best friend was coming back from a year of homeschooling. The group got back together, and I think he asked me if Cookie and I were talking, and I said, nah, we're beefing right now. But I felt like it was just a throwaway comment, like a sarcastic, nah, we're beefing type of thing, just to break the silence that we hadn't seen each other in a minute. But maybe it wasn't the best thing to say when you haven't talked to somebody in a minute, but I don't know. Now about Tony, I didn't like him anymore. I'll be honest. My girlfriend at the time was friends with him, and that alone made me feel some type of way, but I dismissed it. Nothing ever happened other than the fact that he never reached out again. I mean, you think that if you befriend the girlfriend of someone you were close with, you'd at least make an attempt to reach out. But nothing was done. It almost seemed like he was very, I guess, just avoiding me. Like, he would, talk to my girlfriend, but didn't really want to talk to me. I mean, again, we were close friends, so that alone was a bit odd, but life continued and everyone moved on. But now here is Gio in my car telling me all the secrets from this friend group. A friend group that he was still close with and one that I had left a long time ago. It had been 2 years and I was genuinely interested in what was going on with them, I mean, what could they possibly be doing now? And I think he flat out said, dude, they're all pedos now, right? I wanted to slam on my brakes, stop the car for like dramatic effect, something straight out of the movies, but we were on the highway, so that was impossible. My mouth literally dropped, and before I could even say anything, he said, yeah, Cookie and Tony got caught. What do you mean they got caught? Now, I will admit something here. The first thing I felt was happiness, satisfaction, and I don't believe I would be alone here. I mean, imagine being told that someone who did you wrong in the past or feel bitter about had something bad happen to them. You get this odd feeling of like justice being served in a way or that satisfaction, but now looking back at it, I really just feel bad for the victims. I do wish the best for them. Let's talk about Tony. Tony was apparently kicked from the group and blocked by everyone after it was revealed that he was dating a girl who was 16 years old. He was 20. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Gio told me, yeah, man, we found out and everyone dropped him. He's a weirdo, man. I almost wanted to say that I knew it, but I never speculated anything about the guy. I was just upset that he was like all buddy with my girlfriend. But man, to live in a world where my ex's close friend, who I used to be friends with, but no longer friends, and now doesn't even try to reach out to me, gets outed as a pedo. Oh, wait. It made me smile, but like I said, I feel bad for that poor girl. Now, Cookie went from cooking people to now being cooked himself. His case was much more egregious. I mean, this 20-year-old man was allegedly pretending to be 16 years old to date a 16-year-old. Like, what? What are we doing, dog? Now, I've heard that whole thing of like, oh, she told me she was 18. She pretended she was 18. I didn't know her age. But I have never heard of a grown man acting like a little kid to be with a little kid. Again, we were all 20 years old. I can only imagine what he was telling her. Like, hey, babe, I had a stressful day at work. I mean, school. Yeah, school. I'm still going to high school. Just like you. Anyways, send pics. Dude, just thinking of that is revolting, man. Ugh, I don't get it. Why do this? I personally find immature people really unattractive. Someone who still believes that they're in their glory days back in high school is just so ill. Like, if you don't clock into your fast food 9 to 5. And I do believe that many people I once went to high school with peaked in high school. I mean, these are prime examples of two folks who peaked in high school, so much so that their girlfriends are still in high school. I don't get it. They are kids, or maybe it's just a normal human being trait that when it comes to attractiveness, I group ages 0 to 17 as not attractive. I mean, I might even go as far as to say 18 is not attractive. I kind of like to date in my own age range. I mean, someone who's too younger, like, even if they're 19, 18, it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess if stuff just happens, sure, but I do like to see somebody who's a bit more mature, has a better grip on life and their future, not somebody who in some ways I kind of have to babysit. I don't know. I think I'm ranting about that too much, and I want to talk about this. I want to rant about this topic so much more, but I have a lot to yap about, and I'll just leave it for another day. Tony and Cookie are weirdos, without a doubt. But I now ask myself, can I feel good, satisfied that two people who have wronged me in the past got outed as pedophiles, while also feeling bad for the victims of these creeps? I still struggle with that because, I mean, I feel like it contradicts itself, but I don't know. You let me know. This is all alleged, and I don't have any proof, which is why anonymity is important here. I don't want to smear anybody's name, and if I did have proof, I would, at least try to report it to the police. I feel like it is the duty of those who were close to these creeps to report them and hopefully see some justice, but I'm not in that circle anymore. They say who you surround yourself with, you become. So I am glad that they are now just memories in the past. And with that, it seems that we've come to an end. And in total, we got 80 diamonds, which pretty good. All right, bye-bye.